Albert Einstein was a Jew, and he supported the new movement of Zionism. Now before you judge it, let's have a look. So he was a Jew who initially was a strong supporter of Zionism before the Israeli independence in 1948, but then changed his stance after 1948. Why? Originally, Zionism just meant to establish a homeland for the Jews by returning to the Holy Land, Palestine. But after 1948, it took on a totally different meaning till this day, the establishment of a Jewish state. That's not what Zionism originally meant. And Zion is another name for Jerusalem, as I said, and Mount Zion is the Temple Mount. Muslims call it Masjid al-Aqsa. And there are several types of Zionism. There's political Zionism, there's cultural Zionism, religious Zionism, labor Zionism, revisionist Zionism, and even Christian Zionism, all of them. And Einstein had interpreted pre-1948 of Zionism in the spirit of the Hebrew prophets, who advocated for love between people and piety towards God, a Hebrew word called chesed. This is a guy who is actually from them, who knows the scripture of the Hebrew Bible, and said, should we be unable to find a way to honest cooperation and honest pacts with the Arabs, then we have learnt absolutely nothing from our 2,000 years of suffering and will deserve our fate. To the Zionist leader, Weizmann, in 1929. And by 1948, that same year, in a speech given to the National Labour Committee for Palestine in New York City, he explained his fear of what a Zionist state would mean for the Jewish soul, after seeing what it had become, as if feeling betrayed of what he believed. He said, apart from the practical consideration, my awareness of the essential nature of Judaism resists the idea of a Jewish state with borders, an army, and a measure of temporal power, no matter how modest. I am afraid of the inner damage Judaism will sustain, especially from the development of a narrow nationalism within our own ranks, against which we have already had a fight without a Jewish state. We are no longer the Jews of the Maccabi period, a long time ago. A return to a nation in the political sense of the word would be equivalent to turning away from the spiritualization of our community, which we owe to the genius of our prophets. And a few months before his death, he was offered to become the president of Israel, and he refused because he said that, well, you guys corrupted basically. He said the important aspect of our Israeli policy must be our ever-present manifest desire to institute complete equality for the Arab citizens living in our midst. The attitude we adapt toward the Arab minority will provide the real test of our moral standards as a people. The first ever murder and attack on the Palestinians happened in what they called the Deir Yassin massacre of April 1948, just after the Israeli state was established. And the Deir Yassin massacre was the first of a number of incidents in which Jewish fighters were involved in killing civilians in the War of Independence, and after it was over. You should read about it. It was horrific. And Einstein said about the Deir Yassin massacre, he said, it is inconceivable that those who oppose fascism, meaning the people who were behind it, they said, oh, fascism is wrong. He said, those who oppose fascism throughout the world, if correctly informed as to, his name was Mr. Begin, who led an extremist Zionist movement, Begin's political record and perspectives could add their names and support to the movement he presents. He does not want to present them. Einstein doesn't want to stand with them. Till today, brothers and sisters, the massacres, the illegal settlements and occupations, what many analysts have called ethnic cleansing, apartheid, and now in Gaza for 16 years straight, an illegal blockade, and something they are doing to Gaza and the West Bank and other places. And we have heard of incidents and people from inside of Israel, and some writings from even their politicians, numerous ones of them before they got deleted, saying that we should kill their children because their children are going to grow up to become a threat to us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stop the plans and the plots of the makirin, of the evil ones.